everyone, this is inversion-free yoga, and inversion-free just means that we're not going to be putting our head below our hearts for the entire practice, so no downward facing dog, no standing forward bend. Inversion-free yoga is open to anyone can take this class, but some people who have particular issues, either glaucoma, cardiovascular issues, vertigo, and for some other reasons, people don't like to put their head below their hearts. So I received some requests for this video, so I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Coming to a comfortable cross-legged position, I like to inwardly rotate my thighs, pulling the flesh away from my sits bones, sitting up nice and tall, rolling my shoulders down my back. And let's begin by closing our eyes, allowing our breath to deepen, filling up the belly with every inhale, squeezing your belly button back towards your spine with every exhale. Taking a moment to bring yourself into this present moment, right here, right now. Focusing on your lower back, and just feel beautiful energy building up in your lower back. And as you breathe, feel that beautiful energy moving up your spine, one vertebra at a time. Feel each vertebra stacking one on top of the other, growing even taller up through your upper back and all the way up through the crown of your head, connecting you to the universe. Noticing how much more space you have to breathe now that you're truly sitting up nice and tall. And you can unclench your jaw, allowing your jaw to slide from right to left. Getting rid of any tension. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes and let's reach our arms all the way out and up. Nice deep inhale. Good, interlace your hands at the top. Press the palms of your hands up towards the ceiling, stretching out through your fingers, your wrists, and maybe wiggling your elbows side to side, stretching out through your shoulders, trying to move those elbows back behind the ears. Take one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, round your upper back and shoulders, press the palms of your hands directly away from your sternum and draw your chin deep towards your chest, breathing into the space right between your shoulder blades. How deeply can you press your chin onto your chest, really getting a nice deep stretch through the back of your neck. And go ahead and release those hands. Bring your hands all the way back behind your hips, about a foot away from the hips. Pressing into the palms, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Lift your chest, open your heart. And if it's comfortable for your neck, you can allow your head to hang back, or you can keep your chin in line with your chest, which is what I'm showing you here today. Take the deepest breaths you've taken all day, maybe even all week, opening up your heart, lifting your chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together for one more breath. Beautiful, come back, and then reach those arms all the way out and up one more time. Good, as you exhale, bring your hands all the way in front of you and then walk your fingertips away. And remember, we're doing inversion-free yoga today. So keeping your head above your heart and just feeling little stretches through your entire lower back area, your hips. You can experiment with keeping your back nice and flat and then rounding your back. Noticing what you're feeling and all the different muscles that get stretched when you flatten out your back nice and straight or when you round your back. Just keeping the head higher than the heart. And if you're taking this class and you don't need to keep your head higher than your heart, then you can also feel free to round your upper back and drop your chin towards your chest and come all the way forward. Take one more breath. And walk your hands all the way back up towards your hips. Let's come onto all fours. So from here, let's begin with Dancing Lion. We're going to make big circles with our hips in one direction. Exhaling as you draw your hips back. Inhaling as you draw your hips forward. Unclenching your jaw, relaxing your cheeks, your lips, the muscles around your eyes and forehead. Just Just noticing what comes to the surface, allowing it to release freely. And let's reverse the direction of the circles. Exhaling as you draw the hips back. Inhaling as you draw the hips forward. Beautiful. Allow that motion to come to a stop. Bring your wrists underneath your elbows, your knees underneath the hips. Let's do our cat-cow. Tuck your toes, drop your belly down, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart, inhale. And as you exhale, untuck the toes, pull the belly button up towards the spine, round the back, exhale. Just take note here of whether it's comfortable to be in this position. This isn't really an inversion. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. And exhale, squeeze your belly button towards your spine, round your upper back, look towards your navel. Again, drop the belly, lift the heart. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to a neutral spine. And you're going to stay right here, but I'm going to change up my position so that you can see me better for this next part. So you stay right there where you are on your mat. I'm just going to face forward. Everybody is going to lift our right leg up into the air, flexing your right foot behind you. And you're going to see my leg in just a moment. But you want to keep it right parallel to the floor, right at hip height. And really reach through your heel, flexing your foot, trying to press your heel towards the back of the room. And now let's bring our leg all the way out to the side, squeezing up those obliques, kicking your toes all the way up towards your shoulder. Good, send it all the way back. Good, as you exhale, press that toe again all the way up towards your shoulder. And inhale, send it all the way back. One more time, carry it all the way out to the side, squeezing up your obliques, kicking your toe towards the shoulder. Let's keep it out here. Good, lower that foot, come up, shake out the wrists. And let's come into gate pose. As we inhale, reach your left arm all the way out and up. As we exhale, come into a long side bend, sliding your right hand all the way down the right leg. Deep, long breaths here. Rotating and opening up your chest. How deeply can you breathe into the left side of your rib cage? Taking one more deep breath. And your next inhale brings you all the way back up. And then slowly drop that hand all the way down towards the mat. And let's stretch all along the right side of the body. So reaching that right arm all the way up and over your ear. One long side bend here. If you want a little bit more from this stretch, press those hips forward, arch your back, lift your chest, open your heart. And you can either stay right here, if you want to try a little bit of a balance, reach those fingertips back up towards the ceiling, walk your left hand a little further away from you, and then lift your right leg all the way up into the air, making it parallel to the ground. Really squeezing up on the outside of that right hip to lift that leg nice and high, flexing that right foot, actively engaging that leg. Again, stay right here, or if you want to come one step further, bend that lifted leg, reach back for your foot or your ankle, press your foot into your hand, lift your chest and open your heart, coming into a half bow here. Take one more breath from wherever you are. Bring yourself all the way back, and then come all the way back to standing on the knee. Reach those hands back in front of you, and then squeezing up your obliques. Let's lift that right leg back up into the air. Send the leg all the way back behind you, squaring off your hips. Now just squeeze your inner thighs together. Carry that right leg over to the left. And bring it all the way back to center. And lower that knee. Rock your hips side to side. Beautiful. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Shifting your weight, lift your left leg up into the air. Flexing that left foot. Reaching through the left heel towards the back of the room. Reaching forward through the crown of the head. And from here, let's carry that left leg all the way out towards the left shoulder. And and bring it all the way back behind you. 2 more, just like this. Carry that left leg all the way out to the left. Draw it all the way back. 1 more time, carry it all the way out to the left. Let's hold it up here. Try to keep it parallel to the floor. And lower it down. Come up, shaking out the wrists. As we inhale, let's reach the the right arm all the way out and up and over your ear. Big, long stretch all along the right side of the body. How much can you lift your torso up and out of your hips? How much can you spiral your heart open towards the ceiling, gazing up and under the armpit? How deeply can you breathe into the right side of the rib cage? Stretching out the intercostals, the muscles between the ribs. Taking 1 more deep breath here. As you inhale, bring yourself all the way back up. Exhale, lower that hand all the way down towards the mat. And as you inhale, reach that left arm all the way up and over the ear. Nice long side stretch. If you want a little more here, press your hips forward, arch your back. And then reach your hand all the way back up towards the ceiling. Walk your bottom hand a little further away. And then squeeze up on the outside of that left hip to lift your leg up to parallel to the floor. Flexing that lifted foot, reaching through the heel, staying right here. Or if you'd like to come even further, bend that lifted leg, reach back for your foot or ankle. Press your foot into your hand, arch your back, open your chest, lift your heart, and come into half bow pose. 1 more breath. Beautiful, release and come all the way back up. Coming all the way back to standing on the knee. And then reaching your hands back down to the ground. Squeezing up the obliques. Let's lift that left leg behind us and rotate it all the way back, squaring off your hips. And now just squeezing your inner thighs together, drawing your left leg over to the right. Squeezing, bringing it all the way back to center, lowering your knee, rocking your hips, and coming all the way back. And I'm gonna turn this way again. You're already here, but I'm just gonna turn this way once more, and we're gonna come onto our elbows for a plank on our elbows. So you have the option, if it's more comfortable for you to do plank right here on your wrists, you can do it here. But for us, we're gonna drop to our elbows. So coming onto your elbows are just about shoulder width apart. And you can interlace your hands here, or you can have your hands flat. Either option is fine. Tucking your toes, lifting your knees, and squeezing up your abdominals, pulling your belly button towards your spine. Ignoring the pull of gravity here, reaching forward through the crown of your head, reaching back through those heels. And we're just gonna make some hip circles in one direction. So hip circles, moving kind of forward and back on your feet, keeping in mind to keep your head above your heart here. Beautiful, and reverse the direction of those circles. And bring it back into a neutral position, and then gently lower all the way down to your belly. Beautiful. From here, slide your fingertips back so they're right underneath the heads of your shoulders. Roll your shoulders into your back, engaging your upper back muscles, pressing your pelvis and your legs down into the mat. We're going to come into a Cobra. So using your hands with just some light pressure, inhale, lift your chest, open your heart, squeeze up those muscles of your upper back. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, roll those shoulders down your back. Nice long neck as you lift your chest. Exhale, lower down. 1 more. Inhale, lift your chest, open your heart, engage those upper back muscles. And as you exhale, just look over your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, lower all the way down. Beautiful. From here, we're coming into child's pose. So let's come all the way back, sitting our hips back onto our heels. Make your knees nice and wide, bring your toes together. And remember, we're coming into a child's pose with no inversions today. So bending at those elbows and just sinking your hips back onto your heels. If this isn't a problem for you and you can bring your head lower than your heart, go ahead and come into full child's pose, extending your arms forward and bringing your forehead all the way down to the mat. But for this class today, let's stay in our child's pose without an inversion. So just elbows are bent, neck is relaxed, gaze is down right between your elbows. Focus on pressing your lower back down, pressing your hips down towards your heels. If it feels good to rock your hips side to side here, you can. Taking one more breath from either pose. Gently walk your fingertips all the way back up, coming to standing on your knees. Okay, so bringing those knees together, and we're just gonna lift up, and we're gonna take our right leg, and we're gonna step it forward. So from here, we're gonna press ourselves into a nice deep groin stretch. So with one hand on either side, and you can also use yoga blocks here. If you're a little less flexible, you can have a block underneath each hand. You can even have a thick book underneath each hand if you don't have yoga blocks. But the most important thing that I want you to take note of here is that your knee is lined up right above your ankle. You don't want to be in a situation where your foot is back here and your knee is going in front of your ankle. This puts a lot of stress and a lot of tension on your knee. So scooch those toes forward until your knee is right over that ankle in a straight line. Keep pressing your hips forward, keep relaxing in the groin area. Deep, long breaths. Some people who take my classes like to have an extra knee pad underneath their knee. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and draw your hips up and back, flex that front foot, and let's come into a hamstring stretch here. Remember, you can always use a block underneath each hand or a thick book. Or if you prefer, you can have your hands on your shin. Flexing that front leg, pulling those toes back towards your face. Let's take one more deep breath in this hamstring stretch. Beautiful, and then sending your hips back towards the front of the room. From here, we're gonna tuck our back toes and lift our back knee up, coming into a long lunge. Now really pulling your front knee forward, your right knee forward, pulling your left heel back, and just feeling that static energy right in between those 2 points, really pulling forward through the front knee, pulling back through the back heel. Now either staying right here, or if you feel comfortable with it, you can bring your hands to your knee and lift your chest. You could reach your arms all the way out and up if that feels comfortable for you. Taking one more deep breath here in Crescent Lunge. And as you exhale, lower those hands all the way down towards the mat. Beautiful. From here, drop your back knee down. And we're going to come up to standing on our knee. So from here, I want you to draw your leg in a little bit closer, so you're kind of in a shorter stance here. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up. Good. And we're going to just straighten and bend a few times, working those legs. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend, and straighten all the way up here. Shorten up your stance. And we're going to bring our hands to our hips, making sure our hips are nice and square. Both hips and both feet are pointing towards the front edge of the mat. Take your hands, reach them all the way out from your shoulders. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, grab onto opposite elbows behind you. Inhale, lift your chest. And as you exhale, let's hinge from the hips with a nice flat back, just coming as low as you feel necessary to get a nice deep stretch right behind that right hamstring. Press those feet into the mat. Even though we're still on 2 feet here, this is still considered a balance. Remember, we're inversion free today, so you don't want to bring your head any lower than your heart, but just stay right here in a nice flat back. Good. Take one more deep breath here. Bring yourself all the way back up to standing, and step that back foot to meet your front. Coming into that Tadasana, mountain pose. Chest is open, heart is lifted. Rolling your shoulders down your back. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side now. So let's take that right foot back. So now our left leg is forward. And we're just going to do some bending and some straightening. So bending and straightening. Bending and straightening. Bending and straightening. And now just let your knee come all the way down to the ground very gently. And we're going to do the same thing. So let's repeat that groin stretch first. Now notice if you just press your hips forward, your knee is going to go in front of your ankle. So go ahead and walk that back knee towards the back of the mat. Make sure that your knee is lined up directly over your ankle. And here you're just pressing those hips forward. Getting a nice deep groin stretch. Remembering if you have your yoga blocks, they can be underneath your hands, or big thick books underneath your hands if that feels more comfortable for you. One more deep breath here. See how much you can relax and release through the hips. And then pulling those hips up and back, straighten out your front leg, flex your front foot, draw your toes towards your face, hamstring stretch. Keep squaring off those hips as much as possible, remembering to keep our head above our heart. One more deep breath here. And go ahead and shifting your weight back forward again. From here, you can either stay right here back in this groin stretch, or if you feel ready for it, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, coming into a nice long lunge. Feel that static energy of reaching your front knee forward, reaching your back heel towards the back of the room, ignoring the pull of gravity. Just how much can you reach forward and back? Sinking your hips as deep as you can. Either staying right here, or if you're ready for Crescent Lunge, transfer those hands to your knee, lift your chest, and then reach your arms all the way out and up if you feel ready for that. Good, opening your heart, lifting your chest. One more deep breath, keep pressing your back heel towards the back of the room, straightening out your back knee. And as you exhale, lower those hands all the way back down towards the mat. Good, from here, drop that back knee down once more. And then coming back to bringing our hand to our knee. We're tucking the back toe under. And we're just going to lift ourselves all the way up to a standing position. We already did the bending and straightening, so I'm not going to make you do it again. Just shorten up your stance here, hands to your hips. Make sure both hips are pointing towards the front of the room. Both feet are pointing towards the front of the room. Grow tall through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach those arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, find your elbows behind you. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. So coming into a forward fold with a flat back, keeping the head higher than the heart. Think about reaching forward through the crown of the head, reaching back through the tailbone. Feeling a really nice stretch through the back of the front leg. Take one more deep breath here, doing your best to square those hips off towards the floor. Your next inhale takes you all the way back up, and then step your back foot to meet your front. Shake it up. From here, bringing your hands to your hips. Take a nice big step out towards the center of your mat. You're going to turn your right toes out and keep your left foot parallel with the left edge of your mat. Reach those fingertips in opposite directions, and we're going to get ready for our triangle pose, Trikonasana. So hinging from your hips, inhaling, you're going to reach forward over your right big toe. And as you exhale, rotate the upper body, your right fingertips come down, your left fingertips come up. And you want to think about expanding in all directions here, up and out through the crown of your head, back and down through your tailbone, up through your top fingertips, down through your bottom fingertips, spiraling your heart open towards the ceiling, imagining that there's a flat plane right in front of you and right behind you, and your body exists right in between on one flat plane. Beautiful. Let's take one more deep breath here. If it's uncomfortable for your neck to look towards your top fingertips, you can look straight ahead. You can look down at your bottom fingertips. Whatever feels right to you today. Take one more deep breath here. And then put a soft bend into your right knee. Return all the way up to standing. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Turn those right toes in. Turn the left toes out. Hinging from your hips, reaching forward over the left big toe. Inhale. As you exhale, rotate the upper body. Left arm comes down, right arm comes up. Trikonasana, triangle. How much can you spiral your heart open towards the ceiling? How much can you expand in all directions, reaching up through the crown of your head? Finding that comfortable place for your neck. Let's take one more deep breath here. Putting a soft bend back into your left knee, return all the way up to standing. Hands come to the hips. And then let's bring our feet together, toe heeling them one at a time. And let's come into our tree pose from here. So finding space onto that right foot, spreading out those right toes, moving your right heel towards the back of your mat, really taking up the full surface area of your right foot. Place your left foot anywhere along your right that you'd like, as long as it's not the side of your knee. So lower than your knee or higher than your knee are both fine. Bringing your hands to your heart center, pressing your right palm into your left palm into your right. Let's grow tall through the crown of the head. Relax those shoulders down and away from your ears, engaging your core. Reaching those arms up through the midline of your body, growing even taller. Allowing your arms to open. Accepting light, happiness, peace, contentment, prosperity, and love. Allow your branches to sway in the breeze. Hands return to the heart. Let's take one more breath here. And gently release. Shake it up. Beautiful. Same thing on the other side. Spreading out the left toes. Move the left heel back. Make sure your center of gravity is right over that left leg. And then place your right foot anywhere along your left leg that you'd like. Anywhere except the side of your knee is fine. Lower or higher. Palms together at your heart center. Finding a single spot on the floor in front of you to gaze at. About 10 feet away is best, because then you don't compromise your neck. Your neck stays nice and long. Let's reach our arms all the way up through the midline of the body, growing nice and tall through the crown of the head. Opening your arms, blossoming like a beautiful flower in the sun. Allowing your branches to sway in the breeze. Invite the little bits of wobbling that happen here. It's an opportunity to build strength in those quick firing muscles in our ankles. Hands return to the heart. Let's take one more deep breath. And gently release. Shake it out. Beautiful. Bring your feet a little bit wider apart. We're going to come into our Yogi Squat now. So we're just setting our hips all the way down, and you're bringing your arms on the insides of your legs, and it might take a little bit of adjusting to find the perfect spot here. But you want your toes to be slightly pointed out, your heels slightly pointed in, and you're going to use the backs of your arms to press those knees open, bringing your hands to heart center. The goal here is to drop your tailbone down and lift your chest up. Now, for some people, this is really easy. For some people, this is really challenging, and they're unable to get their heels down. If your heels are floating up in the air, that is totally fine. It has to do with the length of your Achilles tendon and nothing else. So some of us can get our heels down, some of us can't. Don't stress about it, don't worry about it. You're still doing the work, and you're still doing the pose correctly if your heels are up in the air. Take one more deep breath here. And let's have a seat and shake our legs out in front. So I'm just going to move sideways here so you can see me a little bit better, but shake those legs out on your mat. Pull the flesh away, sitting up nice and tall. And let's come into a forward bend. As you inhale, reach your arms all the way out and up. As you exhale, hinge from your hips, come as far forward as you can, and then just allow your hands to rest anywhere along your legs or on the floor next to your legs, or if it's available to you to grab your toes, do that as well, it doesn't matter. And we're gonna keep our head higher than our heart here, so we're not trying to lower our head all the way down. I actually think we're getting an even better stretch here when we keep our backs nice and flat. So you can experiment with here with your body. What does it feel like when you straighten your back? What does it feel like when you round your back? And just notice what the difference is here. Let's take one more deep breath here. Beautiful, and then reaching those arms all the way out and up when we inhale. Hands come behind your back, bending those knees, making the soles of your feet flat on the mat. Let's come into a reverse tabletop. Pressing into your hands and feet, lift your chest, lift those hips up nice and high. And if it's comfortable for your neck and you'd like to, you can allow your head to hang back. If not, just keep your chin towards your chest, keep looking forward. Let's take one more deep breath, lifting up those hips even higher. And then go ahead and lower yourself all the way back down. From here, move forward on the mat so there's plenty of room behind you to lay back. We're gonna grab onto our knees and float our feet. And we're coming into our boat pose here. There are three options in boat pose, either catching on behind your thighs, reaching forward towards your toes, or straightening out those legs. You get to choose whichever option is best for you. And let's come about halfway down, keeping your torso and your legs lined up nicely. Big smiles on your faces. One more deep breath here. Lift up just an inch. And as you exhale, lower all the way down, hugging your knees towards your chest, hugging and rocking. From here, let's come into a spinal twist. So teeing out your arms, dropping your knees over to one side and turning your gaze over in the opposite direction. Doesn't matter which side you do first, we're going to do both. Surrendering to gravity, taking deep, long breaths. Allowing your body to stretch from the inside out. How much can you fill up your belly, fill up your lungs with fresh oxygen? How much can you surrender to gravity as you exhale? One more deep breath here. Go ahead and move your knees all the way over to the other side, turning your gaze in the opposite direction. Let's take one more deep breath here. And go ahead and hug your knees back into your chest, hugging and rocking. Let's do our happy baby, sending your feet up towards the ceiling, catching onto the outside edges of your feet, drawing your knees towards your armpits, and gently rocking side to side. and hug your knees back into your chest. We've come to the best part of our class, our relaxation. And you have the option of just coming into regular Shavasana, allowing your feet to fall outward, your palms to face upward here. Or if you'd like to try legs up the wall, I'm going to show you what that looks like. And I'm going to show you how to best get into legs up the wall, because sometimes it could be a little bit challenging to get yourself close enough to the wall. So find a wall in your house that's nearby. Go ahead and drag your mat all the way over to that wall, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so here we are at the wall, and here's the trick to really get yourself close enough to the wall to do your legs up the wall position. You're just going to take your hips and you're going to sit one hip as close to the wall as you possibly can, and you almost want to feel like you're sitting halfway onto the wall already. And then as you bring your upper body down, you're slowly going to bring your legs up. So do you see how close my hips are to the wall? And I'm bringing my legs up as I'm bringing my upper body down. And then you're going to have little to no scooching ahead of you. So I'm just bringing my fingertips up above my shoulders, and I'm scooching my hips really, really nicely close to that wall. So this is a great way of doing an inversion without actually doing an inversion. You're getting all of the benefits of an inversion with your legs up the wall, to the point that this is just like doing a headstand or a handstand. All of the stagnant, deoxygenated blood from your toes are coming back to your heart. You're getting fresh blood pumping, circulation in the opposite direction. Your heart is actually working faster and harder in this position, even though you're still at rest. So if this is a position that you want to try for your Shavasana today, go for it. If for whatever reason you're not able to or you don't want to, just come into regular Shavasana, and let's take our Shavasana here. So take a nice deep inhale, filling up your lungs. As you exhale, sigh it out. 2 more, just like this. Inhale. One last time. Inhale. Allowing waves of relaxation to wash over your entire being. And focusing now on your lower back and imagining the beautiful roots of a tree growing out through your lower back and connecting you deep into the earth below you. And now imagining that you are drinking up nutrients through those roots, and that nutrients, that energy is flowing up and into your lower back, bringing health and healing and vitality. And moving up your legs, and noticing now that your legs are solid and strong like the trunk of a beautiful tree. And feel that beautiful vitality, that beautiful energy moving up even higher and surrounding the ankles and spreading into the heels and across the soles of your feet and all along the tops of your feet. And feel that beautiful energy finally radiating out through the tips of your toes, connecting you to the universe, to your own inner divinity, to your own inner light. Slowly, quietly beginning to return, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. And if you have your legs up the wall, you can just allow your feet to slide down the wall, bringing the soles of your feet together and your knees wide. A little bit of a cobbler pose stretch here. If you're laying flat on your back in Shavasana, just draw your knees towards your chest, hugging and rocking. Go ahead and rock over to your right side, staying in the fetal position for a few breaths. Using minimal effort, press yourself up into a seated position. Let's bring our hands together at our hearts and chant Om one time, sealing our practice. The light and the spirit within me honors, respects, and loves the light and the spirit within you. Namaste.